Hello folks, welcome back. It's day 8 or possibly 9 of the little nano tank aquascaping. In the last video I cleaned it all up and I did the kind of moist slash dry start method on it with some of the magic seeds. So you can have a look now. As you can see, there's a whole load sprouted up and the other plants are looking pretty good too. So boredom levels have kind of reached a new high and I can't really wait another 3 or 4 weeks before filling this up, so I'm going to get water in there and see how it looks, get the filter running, see what kind of temperature it's got, because I don't have a heater in this tank at the moment. It's that little micro server next to it kicks out quite a bit of heat, as does the saltwater tank on this side, as well as all the gubbins that are underneath this disc. So it's quite a warm tank. Well, quite a warm area, so we'll see how it fares with the tank itself. As I mentioned in the last video, the light broke, so I've just been using this kind of daylight bulb lamp thing for the time being while I wait for a new one to arrive, which hopefully will arrive later. But yeah, I've got my trusty HMA feed here, so I'm going to stick that in the tank, fill it all up and see how we get on. Right then, I think this is the light for the tank. So we'll do a bit of an unboxing, not done one of them for a while. So this is something I got off Amazon. I will put the link in the description, and if it turns out to be any good, you can go and get one for yourself. I didn't go for the cheapest, I didn't go for the most expensive, I went for something that looked like it did decent reviews, did all the things I wanted it to do in terms of light intensity, light spectrum, that kind of stuff. But most importantly, something that would fit in the lid here. So we have some brackets, which I'm not going to use because this has got a lid, even though it's a horrible colour. We have a power supply and the unit itself. It's got this acrylic border here, because it's meant to be sitting on an open top tank, but I'm hoping to be able to use this to secure it to the inside of the lid. Let's get it plugged in and switched on and you can bask in its wondrous glow. So that's it plugged in. Yes, the on switch is there, which I hope it doesn't need. Oh, it is certainly bright. So you've got 3 options: full spectrum, blues, colours. I'll take it over there, I'll put it on the tank, you can see what it looks like on the tank itself. So this is the unit itself. As you can see, 4 rows of 8 chips. These are the 2835 LED chips, which is the newer, smaller versions. You may see the LED light strips and things like that, which have the slightly larger chips. The number just refers to the size. So the 5050 chips are 5mm by 5mm. The 2835 are 2.8mm by 3.5mm. One of the reasons I chose this one is because these chips are smaller but put out more light and draw less power, and also should live longer. Mostly I just wanted to try it and see how we got on with them. But so that's the unit, that's the spread of the light. As you can see when I put it up next to the tank, it's quite good size wise for the length of the tank, so when I'm hovering that above it, it should fill the tank out quite nicely. On this side we've got an on off switch. You use that to cycle through from white to blues to reds and greens, and then we've got a plus and a minus here which should do intensity. So if I switch it on, that's the full intensity, all colours. If I do the minus button, it just slowly dims down to off. And then they've got blues, reds and greens. Same thing. Go back up. You can go back up to full power. So let's bob it on the tank and see what it looks like. So that's the tank with no lights. Well, actually it's got a light from this fill light from the side here. Turn that off. So that's the tank with no lights. Let's mount that there. And then whites, blues, reds and greens. So, like I said, the reasons I chose this one were to try it out really. I have no idea what the power values are or how many, you could calculate the lumens I suppose. But I wanted something that looked like it might do the job, gave me some options and would let me try it out. So I'm going to try and see what the best way to mount this to the lid or to the hood of the aquarium is. It looks bright enough. I'm hoping that with the colour options it should give me some good growth as well, but we'll see how we get on. Right, some good news and some bad news. The good news is it fits perfectly in this little area of the tank. So there's still a little feeding hole here, plenty of space for the gas exchange to happen and everything. This is the little filtration compartment. It goes through here, through some floss. I've got some ceramic balls under there. But yes, back to the lights. It fits perfectly there, the lid shuts and that's great, but it's one of those ones where you can't use a timer, so when the power goes off and it comes back on, its default state is off, so you have to come and physically press the button at the unit, which isn't great because, like I say, you can't use a timer and I always struggle to remember to do things at regular intervals. So I thought that was going to be perfect, and it almost is, but I might have to keep looking around and see if I can find one that I can use a timer with, because like I say, my memory's not the best. So we'll see how it does in terms of light, whether the stuff continues to grow. I'm expecting some melting to happen, but everything's staying rooted, which I'm quite pleased about. Often when you grow immersed plants and then submerge them, they start to melt away and then come back again, sometimes with completely different looks and leaves. But we'll leave these, see if the light is doing the trick, and then at least I know what I'm looking for, and it's just a case of finding one I can use with a timer. Okay, definitely decided. I think we're going to go for a betta. Shrimp. So I think we will go for some of the red cherry shrimp that I've got down here in the fish room. So I've got them in pretty much every tank because I like to keep them separated. I've had several batches over the last, I've only really been keeping them for the last year or so, maybe 2 years. And I think I've had 3 separate batches where I've mixed them together, and over time just keep taking little piles and moving them from tank to tank to tank. To try and keep the genetics a bit cleaner. So I'll just do a little bit of collecting, I think, from possibly some of the smaller tanks up here and maybe this tank here, and we'll take them upstairs. Kind of deli cup full of shrimp. So we will take them back upstairs and stick them in the tank. So there we go. In terms of acclimation, I'm going to keep them in this cup for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. I'll do my work here, I'll have the cup here, I'm going to get a little pipette and just take water out every couple of minutes and add to this, and when that cup is full we'll add them to the tank, and that should be fine. The temperature, I'll just make sure the temperature is the same, and then we should be good to go. So we'll come back in once I've added them in. I'll just pour them in. I'm not worried about the tank water because it's coming from my own tanks. Just pour them in, let them get settled, and then we'll come back and do some filming of the shrimp once they're in. See you shortly. So there we go, everyone's in, and at first glance obviously everyone's hiding, but you may be able to notice we have a couple of hitchhikers. So it looks like we've got 2 guppy fry that have made their way in here. They're not hurting anyone, so I'll leave them in there for a while. If it becomes a problem we'll get them out. Just have a look at that carpet. So that's another couple of days on there. I think we're on day 11. Could be wrong there, might be 12. Anyway, that is the sprinkling of seeds from the magic seeds. And so far so good, looks okay. There's a few on the rock as well. Which looks alright. So we'll keep an eye on things, continue to monitor it. But for now, I think we'll bring this to a close, and I'll finish with some shots of shrimp gazing on caked on algae. Once again, thanks for watching everyone. Click that subscribe button down below. Click the notification icon if you don't want to miss any future videos. And let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching.